alongside the Mk3 Focus RS. A familiar place for me still, really. I know it's been, well, over a year now since I had mine. Don't want to run over a squirrel. I think we saved the squirrel. But yeah, immediate thoughts compared to my RS, obviously it's so much more modern in here. Like, you do feel really more, like, much more penned in, don't you? Yeah. Sort of.
When I sat in your RS the other weekend, I could not believe how old it felt.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's really strange, because coming from a Mk2 ST, I didn't feel, when I come in this, it didn't feel too much more modern. It's weird. Maybe it's because we had the ST as well, the Mk3 ST.
Maybe.
It just didn't feel that much of a step. But
yeah,
getting used to this now, and then when I sat in yours, it was, yeah.
It's amazing how much they've changed, didn't they, from the Mk2 and the Mk3. Yeah. But now it obviously feels much more modern. Yeah. Everything's more enclosed. You feel like kind of a bit safer, kind of thing. And you've got all the tech and stuff and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it's pretty familiar. So we've got it in normal mode anyway. I remember obviously when you switch it up into sport, you get the increased sort of throttle sensitivity. You get a few more pops, didn't you, from the exhaust?
Just waking it up a little bit.
And the steering gets a bit weighty, I think, doesn't it? Changes steering modes. Yeah. So we'll just kind of. That's nowhere near obviously full acceleration, but I'm going to quickly put it in sport mode. And you feel
it straight away. Yeah, you surge.
The car actually accelerates more, doesn't it? Because of the point you are with the throttle, it opens it up more. But we're going to get straight into it, guys. You know, you've seen reviews on these cars now. I just want to feel how this map behaves compared to my old Dream Science RS. Just see what it's like in general in terms of grip, handling, and power. So second gear. It's so smooth, isn't it? Yeah. Power band's really smooth.
I think it must be a Collins speciality, because the first thing you said when you jumped in the Mk2 ST I had was how smooth it felt. Yeah, and I think when you get cars that are mapped like that, they feel a bit slower than they actually are. Yeah. But yeah, even just said. So if I'm going to go back into third. So we're at 3,500 revs. Plant the throttle. There's literally no additional surge of boost, is there? No. It's like, it's just constant. Yeah. Whereas in the Dream Science RS I had, it wouldn't really wake up until about 4.5, 5, and then all of a sudden the thing would just take off. Yeah. You had low down torque, but there was a noticeable really put you in your
bridge in power. Yeah. Makes a nice noise though, doesn't it?
It does feel quick though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm not going to say there's no drama, because it's still quite lively at the front, isn't it? It's still.
Is that the Ford PDC, or
I think so?
It correct itself constantly. That's the only thing I don't like about this car. Is I probably will eventually get that turned off.
Yeah.
The Ford PDC, but
I mean, I used to say it spiced up the drive a little bit, but it also can be a bit dangerous.
Yeah. When there's a bit of camber on the roads, the steering goes heavy and light constantly. You can feel yourself. Yeah. Squirreling a little bit.
If you're on an unfamiliar road as well, and like you say, you're caught off guard by a bit of camber, it's a bit. Yeah. You've got to really hang on to the wheel, haven't you? Yeah. You've got to really grip onto the steering wheel. Yeah, I'm amazed at how smooth it is, mate. Yeah. It's
how's the exhaust difference compared to your Scorpion?
This sounds a lot more airy, like raspy. Like you can hear the air coming out of it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sounds a bit weird. Yeah. It's like shh, that sort of noise. Yeah. Whereas my Scorpion, it was more of a like a roar sort of thing. Yeah. I don't think it was any louder. Yeah. Like, but I don't know. It sounded a little bit deeper and had a bit more of a roar. Yeah. But this does sound nice.
It's loud inside though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite loud inside, but it's not droney, is it? No. It's literally just the gases coming out the back you can hear. Whereas my Mk2 is pretty droney. You can heel and toe in this as well quite well. It does feel quite controllable when it's not veering about. Yeah. So we'll put it into these bends. Oh, I don't need second. Keep it in third. Right, so let's accelerate out of this bend and see how it.
No drama whatsoever.
There's no drama, yeah, because it's nice and progressive. It's not squirming out the corner. So
Like my Mark II, if you nail it out of a corner, because you get a lot of low down boost all of a sudden, it's a bit of a fighter. Yeah. Whereas this, yeah, man, you can just give it full beans, can't you?
Everywhere, can't you? There's been occasions where you can feel the tail snap a little bit, but as soon as it does that, you can just feel it.
Yeah.
Getting the grip back straight away, so it just gives you so much confidence.
Yeah, these are good at correcting themselves, aren't they? So if you've got the traction control in sport and it does step out, it will pull it back in. But dry conditions like this, they're pretty planted to the road, aren't they?
But it's exactly what I wanted. I wanted a car that would drive like this on a back road.
Yeah.
I looked at i30Ns. The i30N is a very, very capable car, but it just wasn't quite as good as this.
Plus it's front wheel drive, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. And when you stick a map on them, it was like the Mark IV ST. I did look at them, but I spoke to a few people, and once you stick the map on them and you're over 300, they just start spinning constantly in the wet. They're almost undrivable again. And I was thinking, I'm just going to be in the same boat as I was with the Mark II.
Let's give it some beans out of here. Let's see what it's like on the exit of this corner. Yeah, so like, if that was mine, the back would have come out then. But it feels like, is the boost limited?
I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest. They used to tail off the torque in lower down gears, but I don't know too much about that.
It just felt like there was a little bit of a, it wasn't like a delay, it's just the way it builds power. It's just very, I don't know, not slow, it's gradual, isn't it? Just that's what I'm saying, it makes it safe. It makes it fast, but safe. Right, so we've got some good corners coming up here, so...
You can really hear the pops and bangs, can't you?
You can. So you can heel toe a bit on the downshift. Nice bit of speed through this bend. That's it. And then nice, and there we go, it takes off. Cyclist is all right. So yeah, like I say, it's just safe.
It gives you a lot of confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I like how responsive the throttle is as well.
Yeah.
It's just literally what you put in is what you get.
So is that the main difference between this and your Dream Science one? It's just the aggression of the map at the start.
Yeah, it's just the way it delivers its power.
Yeah.
Like,
do you think it made it more old school, the Dream Science one?
It felt like it did feel like more of a front wheel drive power delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an older, bigger turbo car.
Yeah.
But like I say, it had the torque. It had that initial torque, and then it would stay linear, and then it would just take off.
Yeah.
So it's completely different to this. Completely different.
It's crazy how inputting, I don't know how maps are done, inputting a few figures on your computer.
Yeah, I know.
Completely change how a car drives.
It's weird, isn't it? Let's turn the ESC off totally, and then we'll see if it does the same coming out this junction. Right, let's have a go then. So, let's see what it's like under full load out of here. That's better.
Still don't really feel the back end come round so much, do you?
I think if we had it in drift mode, it would. Yeah. I think obviously if you stick it in drift mode, you'll feel that. But with the traction and ESC fully off, maybe we had a bit of intervention before, but that took off quicker, didn't it?
But it definitely needs the Pilot Sport 4S's on it.
Yeah, you'll notice the difference on them.
Yeah, in the wet, these do slip a little bit.
So all the way to 7,000, it's not tailing off, is it really? Well, maybe 6.5, that's where you start to tail off, but...
I find it's literally just before that RS logo flashes.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time to change.
You don't need to take it up to the limiter, do you? Because you can feel where you need to change gear.
I don't know if that's something they've inputted on the map to tail off the power at that higher end to protect the engine.
Just to maybe less stress.
Collins are always classed as the safe map. So
I mean, it feels safe. Like there's nothing harsh going on. It's all very smooth. I mean, what more do you want, really? I mean, you're happy with it, aren't you?
Yeah, perfectly.
I think maybe if you want a bit more drama, then maybe another tuner that's, you know, it's going to give you a bit more of a dramatic power delivery, but this thing's quick.
Yeah.
It's as fast as you need it, really, in my opinion, for what we were just doing then.
it's one of the perfect maps for it, because this was supposed to be all about the handling, all about the grip and how it goes on B roads, and the map, how smooth it is and how safe it is, just highlights how good it is, in my opinion, compared to what the Mountain one.
No, there was definitely a lot more room, wasn't there, for more power with the 375 map.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always say on these Mark IIIs, a good 400 brake map, you've got the perfect balance of everything. Yeah. When you start pushing it sort of up towards 500 like people are now, I think it might just make it a bit, I don't know, a bit too quick and sort of ruin the... Like, I feel like I can hit a back road and nail the arse off this, and I'm in charge of the car, you know, and it's safe, but it's still fun. I think you can sort of ruin that balance after a while.
Yeah, people will always chase numbers, but I'd imagine when you're going up to that sort of power, it starts to make you feel old school again.
Yeah, it does. It does. And like I say, when I drove my Mark III back to back with a FPM 375, the FPM 375 just felt really boring.
I still picture your face when you got in it and started accelerating away. You was like,
yeah, it's like, because that MR 375 Mark II, that's a sweet spot for me, I reckon, with a Mark II. That's what I want mine to feel like. But yeah, no, it's nice car, mate. It's yeah, as I remember it, the handling wise, you got all the traction you need. Would have been nice if it was wet, just to have a little bit of a play, you know. But
I'm glad it's dried up a bit. It means it's not getting as dirty.
Yeah, it's a bit dirty, guys. You're probably seeing the external shots. Jack's normally quite precious about his car. But no, Jack, thank you very much, mate, for letting me film it on the channel.
Anytime.
It's been good getting behind the wheel. I would consider one of these as a daily again in a couple of years when the Mark II's paid off. Run it alongside the Mark II. I think you've got a good car, mate, and if I were you, I'd hang on to it for as long as you can, really.
Yeah, I'm hoping the value will keep staying there.
Yeah, you'll be all right for residuals now. You know, they're holding steady now, aren't they? If not, maybe starting to creep up a bit for tidy ones. But yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. As always, please like, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you've liked this new style, bit better quality. I've got a guy, Max, on board who's editing this for me, so a bit of an experimental video. But give us some feedback in the comments, and hopefully we can keep on doing videos like this. But until the next one, guys, as always, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.